Imagine walking into a courtroom, your entire future hanging in the balance. The air feels heavy, the sound of footsteps echo through the silent room, and all eyes are on you. Now, imagine looking up and realizing the judge presiding over your case, the very person who could decide your fate, is someone from your past. Not just anyone, but a childhood friend, someone you once laughed with, played with, and shared dreams with. That's exactly what happened in this unbelievable real-life story, and what followed next left everyone in the courtroom stunned. The day started like any other in the busy halls of a courthouse. Lawyers hustled back and forth, files clutched tightly in their hands, and whispers filled the room. A man, the defendant, was brought in wearing simple clothes, the weight of life's mistakes visible in his posture. He looked tired, defeated, as if he had already accepted his fate. As the bailiff called for everyone to rise, the judge entered the room. She was professional, stern, and radiated authority, as judges are expected to. But as her eyes swept across the room and landed on the defendant, her confident demeanor faltered. For just a moment, she froze. Her gaze lingered on him, her expression betraying a wave of surprise and disbelief. It was as though time itself had stopped. No one else in the room understood what was happening. The lawyers glanced at each other in confusion. The defendant, however, kept his head down, seemingly unaware that the judge was staring at him. But she recognized him immediately. It was her childhood friend, the boy she had grown up with, shared dreams with, and considered almost like family. Years ago, they had been inseparable. They played in the same parks, attended the same school, and supported each other through the struggles of growing up in a tough neighborhood. He had been kind, funny, and full of promise. She remembered how he used to talk about becoming someone important, an athlete, an artist, something great. But life had taken them down very different paths. She, through hard work and determination, had risen above her circumstances, earning scholarships and eventually a law degree. She had fought tooth and nail to achieve her dream of becoming a judge. He, however, had drifted onto a different road, one paved with bad choices, influences, and regret. The boy full of dreams had become the man sitting in front of her, accused of theft and other petty crimes. The case began, and the judge did everything she could to maintain her composure. The defendant didn't seem to recognize her. Perhaps it had been too long, or maybe he simply couldn't bring himself to look up. As the prosecution laid out the charges, presenting evidence and calling witnesses, the room felt heavy with tension. The judge listened intently, but in the back of her mind, memories of their childhood kept surfacing. She remembered their laughter, their shared struggles, and the sense of hope they once had. When the defense attorney finally allowed the defendant to speak, the man hesitated. His voice was shaky, as though every word weighed on him. "I know I've made mistakes," he said, looking down. "I didn't always do the right thing. But life hasn't been easy, and sometimes you get lost." His words were simple, yet they hit hard. The judge watched him carefully, torn between her role as a judge and the emotions bubbling within her. Finally, in a moment of raw vulnerability, the defendant looked up, and their eyes met. For a moment, there was silence. Recognition hit him like a wave. His face shifted from confusion to shock, and then to something deeper, shame. "I know you," he whispered. His voice cracked. "We grew up together. You were always the one who had it all figured out. I let everyone down, including you." The entire courtroom seemed to hold its breath. People exchanged glances, realizing there was more to this case than they had thought. The judge, fighting back the emotion, took a deep breath and spoke with a steady voice. "This court isn't about me or the past we shared. It's about justice. But justice can come with mercy, and it can come with hope." She paused, as though choosing her next words carefully. "You may have lost your way, but that doesn't mean you can't find it again. I remember the person you used to be, and I believe that person is still in there. But change is up to you. Her words hit like a bolt of lightning. The defendant, overcome with emotion, wiped tears from his face. He didn't expect kindness. He didn't expect compassion. The room remained silent as the judge delivered her decision. Instead of sending him to prison, where he would likely fall deeper into the cycle of crime, she offered him an alternative sentence: community service, rehabilitation, and regular progress check-ins with the court. "I'm not giving you a free pass," she said firmly. "You need to prove to yourself, and to everyone else, that you can be better. This is your chance to change your life." The defendant, choking back tears, whispered, "Thank you." For the first time in years, he felt hope that maybe, just maybe, he could turn things around. As he left the courtroom, the atmosphere had changed. People in the room had witnessed not just justice, but humanity. A judge, bound by the law, had chosen to see the person behind the crime and offer a path to redemption. This story is more than just a courtroom drama. It's a reminder that our past shapes us, but it doesn't have to define us. It's about second chances, the power of compassion, and the belief that people can change. If this story moved you, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories like this. And let us know in the comments, what would you do if you were in the judge's shoes? Would you have made the same decision, or would you have followed a different path?